A woman is pregnant, she wants to deliver, she's carried by a push.
But do you think that the government is the only one, politicians are the only one who have to contribute to the development of
They sign all those contracts. I've never given a village a contract to sign for any road, having community job done.
No.
Okay.
Let me tell you, administratively, it is not the government that says you should. They've given you an assignment, and you, the project manager, knows that these maintenance have to come in. And if you fail in your job, you fail on it. And that is why most of us fail to understand. I've been given this responsibility, and it is this responsibility I have to do. And when it doesn't come, you have to cry out, seriously, it doesn't come. Because these projects are giving out. It is done. But you, the project manager, knows that it has to be maintained. Or there must be a supervisor after every year to maintain this road, see about the road. You sit quiet and wait for the government to come. It is your duty. If the government doesn't do it, you have to cry. And that is what is happening with us. Because most of us take the responsibility of directors and don't do our job and don't do what we're supposed to do. And we always cry the government while the fault is from us. Because we don't know what to do.
But here, when roads are given to people for construction, they have a maintenance period of about 20 years to see that that road creates no gallop. So if there's any gallop, they build it without going back to the government coffers.
You, who is in charge of that area, knows that at this time, there must be a visit. If the visit is not done, you have to write and come for the visit.
Okay.
My experience, excuse me, Mr. Jomo, because these are some of the things. I was in the government and I knew what was happening with the government. And I've come here to see most of the errors. The errors will blame the government, but it is we who are working with the government who fail to do our do our jobs. Because we do not know that at this time I have to cry and say this must be done. And until you cry, it will not be done. Even here, you need to write a report and say this must be done at this time. And this is what is. I think that the problem of African is management. Most of us take responsibility and we do not take the skill of management to know how to manage our project. And this is what I feel. Thank you.
President.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, I do thank you guys for participating in this debate, and I know we'll be continuing this debate. I know clearly that the responsibilities of our own development lies in every citizen's hands. We cannot be blaming the government forever. We will blame and we will never go anywhere. So let Africans take responsibilities in their own hands for accountability, for hoping that they do their jobs very well and somebody will be accountable to come and watch. I never knew in our country we had accountability. I've seen it just recently. The control superior data is life and willing to help our country move on. One thing they do as part of the ingredients of accountability is that when, as whistleblower, when you see something going wrong in our government,
Say something.
not just only say it, get evidence. When you get the evidence, you call them. They will come and verify. Like Reagan said in America, trust but verify. So that's all I can tell you, Africans, and I'm very happy for that. Thanks very much.
Mr. President, you can only verify, you can only complain, you can say something if you know the amount involved in any business. You don't know anything about a business. You don't know how much a man had. How do you trace his shortage?
Yeah. Let me answer you. As the chief, because it is in your own sector, you propose for a project to be done. You should know when the project is concerned, and there must be a letter, or there must be something set up that within this time this must be done. And when you come in, you know, and within that time, you must propose that it should be done. Ever continue crying, something will be done.
Yeah, but if the public is not notified.
Excuse me, I want you to tell you what I've observed here and what I've observed in Africa is because we get dormant, and most people do not even know what their project management is. There's a clue in it. It was yesterday I was reading a paper, and that paper was reading about project management. It must be done this, it must be done this, it must be done this. I put my hands on my head and I cried. Oh, is that why most projects in Africa are? A project is done, you just come and sit down, you're a project director. You do not know that this project should be visited after every 1 year, after every 2 years.
Thank you.
What do you do as the manager of that project? What do you call the attention of the other people to do that it must be done for that project? It is done. Even the project that international organizations give you aid, the international organizations sit quiet and waiting for you to say, you don't say, you come out and say a project has been done. This is what is very important because we fail to understand the management of our own projects.
I got a point. Yeah, I agree with him 100%. But before I do that, I want to we have to trace where
So that's 70% then.
the roots of the evil really stem from. The rules have been set up in such a way that it favors the contractor. In the African context and the context of Cameroon, who's the contractor? Not the Cameroon, not the natives.
No, there are very few natives.
Foreigners.
Yeah,
There's somebody who comes in to render a service.
foreign corporations that come in.
Yeah.
And the rules as to who checks them, who controls them, who gives accountability are so lax.
Quality.
And they said lax for the simple reason.
Lax.
For the simple reason that the rules are so lax for the simple reason that the French government dictates what goes on in Cameroon, for instance. And they won't want you to criminalize or hold responsible a French corporation. Short and simple. So they make the rules lax so that the French corporation comes in, does a project, and leaves. And talk about maintenance. That's your problem.
Yeah. My brothers, I was a civil servant in Cameroon. I took over a lot of responsibility when I was doing my projects. And the most important thing is when we fear, we want to maintain our post. We feel that when you raise up your voice, you'll be taken out of your job. But the best thing is doing your job, doing it correctly, whatever come the consequences, I'm ready to leave. And I'm sure God is with me. That's what has been assigned for me. And I have to have a living. And that's what most of us fail. Most of the projects fail because we fear that we should not be taken out of the job. Project directors, as you are a project director, everything is with you. But if you cry fall, you know that you're going to lose a job. You know that you're going to lose this. You fear to cry the fall because you want to remain there and things go wrong because you have to cry. Cry and let it be removed, and this is the sense of responsibility I'm telling many other people. That's why I am here today, why I'm a poor man today, because I always cry and say, no, it cannot happen. It cannot happen with me, and I will not have to accept it.
Okay, I think I just got what you said, Mr. Tabe. What I really see very pertinent in this issue of accountability is that our whistleblowers are not protected.
No, there are no whistleblower laws.
They are not protected. In as much as we want to be good citizens of our nation, we are not protected. And I guess as far as our contributions to our development is concerned, the debate tonight may highlight those type of issues. Our government has to come out with policies to help the development of the middle, I would say the private sector, not bringing everything back to the government. Secondly, the issues of our accountability will have to be addressed in addition to whistleblower protection. I think those are the two main things that would help our accountants develop.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, I don't think whatever we've been saying tonight would help our countries. So I do thank you, Madame Dudu. We've not been doing so well, but I think this night